Okay, so before we react, I have a serious question. Has anyone ever peed blood? You know, like maybe you went out, had a couple bottles of tequila, and then, woke up the next morning and then peed blood? Serious. Me either. I was just curious. Anyway, so tonight we will be reacting to the Fresh and Fit podcast because guess what? Their time is limited, just like all of ours here on Earth. So with that said, welcome to the Radical Masculine.
If he goes out, it's up to him. I want him to have fun as well, but it's just usually how I think the dynamic works best.
So you mentioned, I want to say, activities during the day, which is great because it's during daytime. But let's say clubs, you said earlier when you go out, guys hit on you, you get drunk, you dance, all that stuff. So is that a good environment for you being with a man?
I don't think I'm really drunk that often. I have my friend taking care of me and vice versa. And again, I know how to say no.
Okay, first off, she looks like a whore. She looks like a bad influence. And I could tell by the look in her eye that she's been thinking about dick. Just saying. I'm not a genius, but I know a girl who loves penis.
Always say no. I always been like that. Even before I was in a relationship, I'm really I don't know. I can't just do stuff. It's just not my thing. You know what I mean?
Wifey.
No judgment though.
So
guys have fun.
Beautiful.
But yeah.
All right. Last but not least.
Okay, well, if my man wanted me to stay home, I could definitely stay home. It's definitely not a big deal.
For how long?
Alright, so she has a tattoo on her arm, which means she's been fucking since she was 17 years old. Just keeping it real.
It doesn't really matter. I obviously like a good balance between going out and staying home. And when I mean go out, I'm more of a restaurant.
And by balance, she means going out, not staying home.
Person. I like going out and trying new foods.
Dick.
Definitely
Vagina.
doing various activities.
Licking
Club
tits.
scene is a rarity.
Okay.
And if he would want to go to the club, if I did, I prefer to put curfews on each other. So it's
on him too.
absolutely, because if you're gonna put a curfew on me, I'm definitely gonna put one on you as well.
So run this play by me real quick.
Okay.
You're dating a guy. You're
Yes.
serious with him. What?
Alright, if I was dating her and she's like, hey, you have a curfew, I would say, you know what? I'm fucking you harder than I have ever fucked you before because you can't tell me what the fuck to do because I'm my own boss. I'm my own man. But these hoes is stupid.
How many you putting on him to come home to you?
So it depends. We're here in Miami. Clubs are 24/7. Obviously, I would say no later than 2 a.m.
Come on,
Wow.
So a
Myron.
nigga be home by 2 a.m.
By
Wow.
2 a.m. Maximum, not minimum.
What's your limit?
My limit? Well, if I'm
4
giving him the 2 a.m., he better give me the 2 a.m. as well.
So it's
Nope.
50-50, equal.
So,
well, when it comes to that, absolutely, yes. I think so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Chris, you had a-
sounds
you had
like
a
the best
comment?
idea
so question,
possible,
what if he
because-
doesn't come home at 2 a.m.?
Well, then
What
we're
are you
going to
gonna do?
have to have a discussion about that and be like, hey, I thought we created these boundaries when we first started dating because I believe that when you first start dating somebody, you have to be able to establish those boundaries from the very beginning
I
and you
would've
have
slapped
to
her.
have that conversation. Hey, are you
Who's
more...
paying the bills, you or him? Or
Okay, not lying, but if I lived in Miami and I ran into this girl and she told me some shit like that, I'm a child abuser, slap, animal cruelty, slap. And I mean that with the utmost respect.
it's a half.
He's paying the bills.
Okay, so then if he's paying the bills, why should he
Ooh.
listen to what you have to say?
Because he respects me and he respects what...
Oh, because he respects me and we're all equal and money doesn't matter because I'm not interested in money. I'm interested in the person. And as long as he does right by me, I'll do right by him and everything is fucking equal. Get out of here. I could tell. Alright, not saying I know from experience, but I've seen a lot of women with an arm tattoo and chlamydia. That's her.
I bring to the table as a woman.
What do you bring?
Ooh.
I bring love,
Big
care,
old dick.
nurture. I cook. I clean.
Uber Eats.
A whole bunch of shit you could fucking get for free. congratulations, you're a loser.
I don't do Uber Eats. I actually
we
cook
do.
every day.
Yeah, I mean, you can just buy that shit.
Every day.
But-
I don't do.
Okay, so you're saying for this to work, has to be equally set up where you have a curfew, he has a curfew as well. and that's
Byron,
one way
fuck
it's
her
gonna work.
up. Get her.
50-50 basically.
Yeah, if that were the case, absolutely.
But you're not paying no
Those
bills.
tattoos
Shit ain't
don't
paying no
even.
bills, man.
All right, those tattoos don't make no fucking sense, which reminds me of her fucking mouth. None of it makes sense. I'm looking in there and I think I see a fucking clown and a diamond, and I think I see a vagina. Is she a lesbian? I don't know. I'll just say this: she's full of shit.
I don't have to pay any bills.
Go, Queen.
Got it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
So
so nice.
so you guys are 50-50,
Here we go.
but you guys have, so he has all the responsibility but only half the authority.
He can have, so usually what I would say is that he will have the last say and the last
He'll have the last say as long as I agree with what he has to say.
word. Like, say we're having disagreement or a discussion, like as my man, I respect his authority, so I'm definitely going, and his lead, so I'm definitely going to
She called it an authority. Nah, that's cap.
have him have the last word, whether I feel like I'm in the wrong or right. But at the end of the day, I prefer for us to come to an understanding. You know?
Realistically speaking, if he has the last word, you can't really put a curfew on him, right?
Ooh.
If he has the last word, and
It's still equal.
well, yeah, I guess I can put a
You
curfew.
can't put a curfew on him, and if he actually is the one that has the authority and the responsibility.
If he has the authority and the responsibility, I definitely feel like if you respect me as your woman, this is just a simple ask that I'm, asking from you. It's like you respect me as your
She said ass.
girlfriend, right? Okay, so if you do, can you respect my wishes for you to come home at 2 a.m. just like you asked me? Because, obviously it's the club scene.
Well, because men and women are not equal, and you cannot say that you're going to stay out late and then he can do the same or vice versa, because he's a fucking man. If he wants to stay out late, he will, and you will sit there and you will accept it. If not, well then, you and your arm and your whack tattoos and your loose whatever can kick rocks. That's what I would say.
Ask you this.
Okay.
Do you think it's a good deal for him to abide by that rule when you might not necessarily be an ideal girlfriend? To some of the life choices you've made with your profession?
Well, so this is the thing. Like I said, when you start dating somebody,
You ever heard bullshit? Well, get ready. You're about to.
you have to establish that from the very beginning.
Shabby
If
fat.
you date me and you know that I do
I don't know if anybody realizes, but she's talking like this. I don't know if you establish boundaries, that means she's sucked way too many pipes in her lifetime, and she's not a fucking plumber, so you do the math.
OnlyFans from the very beginning, and I have established that means if you
Oh, he knew I was doing OnlyFans from the beginning, but if I met a guy and he was a player and he continued to fuck other women, I'd say, why wouldn't you want to change for me? Why wouldn't you want to do better? Women always fucking say this bullshit. They're always like, oh, well, he met me this way, so he should accept it. No, we're not doing it anymore. We're on some real shit these days, girls. 2023.
continue into this relationship, then you are okay with it, aren't you? Okay.
So you think it's fair? You think it's fair for you to have that request of men where he's expected to be the breadwinner and take care of you, protect and provision, etc., but he has to also follow rules that you would follow as a subordinate?
So it just depends on certain rules. Like, I don't put a lot of rules on my man. All I ask is for you to show me loyalty, love, respect, honesty, and
Good luck.
obviously be respectful when you're going out to the club. Like, if you're going to go out to the club with your boys, I have full 100% trust, especially if I'm dating you.
You
So,
shouldn't.
but the thing is that, like, I don't want you to come home when, like, the sun rises. I would like for you to be home, like, by a certain time,
she's
because then
doomed
I
to
just
be
find it, like,
single
why
forever.
were you out till 6 a.m.?
But
Or,
can't he argue that it's not respectful that you're on the internet nude?
well, like I just said, like, if we establish that from the beginning, then he should have no problem with it. You
Like we just said, I told him this is what I was going to do, and he dated me agreeing upon these alleged agreements, and it shouldn't be a big deal, because I wouldn't expect him to change for me during a relationship and do more and be more, so why should he expect me? Clearly, I'm talking shit because this female wants her man to progressively be better, do better, but yet she's like, oh, this is the way he met me. This is why you don't fuck with hoes, bro.
Can't just like come at me for saying that like, oh, you have an OnlyFans, so I'm gonna stay out till 6 a.m. It does not make any sense. You respect the fact that I have an OnlyFans.
Do you
Spit
fuck
in your
other guys
face.
that aren't your boyfriend on OnlyFans?
No.
Yes.
So
she
basically, if
hesitated.
I were to have a boyfriend, I would definitely respect my boyfriend and
She said if I were to teleport a boyfriend,
only do it with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
only do it with
I'm not
him.
doing OnlyFans with other men if
doing-
I am in a relationship.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. So respectful.
You said you think polarity is important, right? You said that, one needs
we
to
go.
be introverted and another one needs to be extroverted in
it.
a relationship.
Not necessarily, but I just found that dynamic works best.
Okay. So that's what you're saying. It is the best way to go. So someone needs to be introverted, someone needs to be extroverted.
This bitch has a fucking hummingbird beak for a nose. And I mean that with the utmost disrespect.
Who do you think needs to be more introverted for the relationship to be successful?
The
The
woman.
man or the woman?
Like in general,
Yeah.
I think it depends. You can't just pick and choose. I mean, I'm more extroverted than
It depends. It all depends on who we're talking about because everyone's different. And sometimes yes, and sometimes no.
my boyfriend.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who do you think needs to lead for a relationship to work?
Lead the relationship.
Yeah.
She said delete. She's gonna kill somebody.
I mean, see, I don't believe that someone needs to lead it. I think it should be 50.
Oh, she believes that there's two fucking leaders, both building an empire, the Twin Towers. Sometimes he leads, sometimes she leads, and we're working to grow our money into a fucking empire. Holy shit.
50.
You think
A man should
relationships between men and women lead? Hold on. Who agrees that it needs to be 50-50 on the panel? 1, 2?
Oh, the black girl
Only 2
for
of you guys?
sure.
You guys don't, what do you guys think? Who should lead?
She's
The
in
man.
between.
The man for sure.
Man? Okay, so you think it's
Ooh.
50-50. Okay, what makes
She
you
must
say
be
it's
half white.
50-50?
Because, well, I'm talking about my personal life.
Because
I am working just like he's working. I mean, obviously we're younger. I don't know how it's going to be later. But as of right now, I'm in college. I'm working. He's doing the same thing. It's like,
Alright, so she's in college, so clearly she ain't making shit, but it still should be equal. And I'm willing to bet she's with a guy who makes decent money. Just putting it out there.
we're both providing for each other. You know what I mean?
like mentally and
Okay.
spiritually.
But realistically speaking, are you and him the same?
No, of course
Same
not.
person? No.
No, I mean, are you guys like the same? Like, are men and women the same?
I think they're different, but equal.
No.
Within the confinements of a relationship, though? Do you guys have the same roles?
I think you can, I mean, personally, again, I'm speaking from personal experience.
Sure.
Some people might disagree with me, but I think that, I want to work, and if he wants to work, he should too. I want to work and I want to have kids. And I believe in balance.
Would you be okay with him staying at home with the kids and then you work?
I think
Hell no.
we can, change. I mean, I think
can
that I
both-
should take like I meant
We could both flip-flop and change and both take turns.
in the previous.
Would you actually accept that? Keep it 1,000. If you went to work every single day and he stayed home with the kids, would you accept that?
I would.
Really? Okay. And you would stay with him and you would still respect him the same and everything?
Yes, of course. Yeah, if that's what he wants to do.
Interesting.
Of course.
So in your relationship, you think it's 50-50? You think it works
Feminist.
Right
whore.
now, yes, correct.
right now in your
Right now,
situation?
right
Okay. The thing is that no relationship is 50-50, realistically speaking. There's always someone
get
that
'em.
needs the other party more. No, there's no such thing as 50-50 in anything, whether it's a relationship with your
Let's get 'em.
friends, with your boss, with your business partner, whatever it is. Like, there's always someone who holds a bit more leverage than the other party. So someone has to be a leader at the end of the day. Right there.
Alright, so here's what females do. They attempt to pretend like it's 50-50 while simultaneously attempting to have the leadership role or the authoritative position to say yes, no, but these bitches know that now we know that they're just trying to bullshit us.
One president of the United States, There's one CEO
One
of a company.
CEO.
There needs to be a decision maker. And
That white girl looks like she's albino, and they just left her in the bleach machine for too long. I don't know.
good ever comes from a committee.
Holy
there needs to
shit.
be one final decision maker. Who do you think that needs to be? You or the man?
I can't speak on that right now because I'm only 20 years old. I'm
I can't speak on that right now because I believe it's equal, and sometimes yes, and sometimes no, but
not sure how I'm going to be in the future. Right now,
future.
I'm
the
saying
way,
in general. Doesn't
Probably
have to
worse.
be just for you. It could be. What do you think would be optimal in general?
just in the general world,
Yeah.
I mean, from what I'm seeing, definitely more of a traditional relationship is man is a leader,
Okay.
but it doesn't mean it's for me.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. So you were talking about introverted and extroverted, and you said in your relationship that you are the more extroverted one and your boyfriend is the more introverted one?
Mhm.
Okay.
beta.
Do you think
Beta.
that is optimal for a relationship where the woman is the one that's going out more and the guy's
See,
staying
why
inside more?
not?
Or should it be the other way around in general?
I think it just depends. I mean, when I say I'm going out, I mean I'm also like I'm in a lot of like organizations and a lot of like clubs. I'm doing just a lot of things. I just like to keep myself.
She don't even have tits. She's still in college. So clearly she really don't even have a real fucking job. So all of this is a front just to go out and live hot girl summer. Holy shit. Can anyone else fucking see this?
Busy. It doesn't necessarily mean about going to the clubs and stuff. This is just like
Oh,
I'm just
the clubs
extroverted.
and stuff.
Okay. What do you think men find more
Means
attractive?
she's a
woman that's
whore.
introverted or extroverted? And I'm going to go around the panel on this one. Do you think
Ooh.
men are more attracted to introverted or extroverted women?
I think it just depends on the person. I don't think it's men
Ah,
and women. It's just
These
for me in a
fucking
relationship it's more
whores.
of an equal partnership. So for me,
Oh,
I am
here we
quite
go.
opinionated. I'm opinionated and I can be quite assertive, and my boyfriend likes that about me.
He's a bitch.
Is that what he tells you?
That's what he tells me. That's why
Well,
he's
that
with
wasn't
me.
the question. The question was who do you think needs to be more introverted? Excuse me. Do you think men find introverted or extroverted women is more attractive?
The concept of a man that you have probably than an introverted woman.
No, what you
I assume.
think, dumb bitch?
If it's the traditional relationship, but I don't think that really works.
You don't think the traditional relationship works?
No, I
worked
don't
for
think.
thousands of
I don't.
years.
I really do not think it's necessary
Okay. What makes you think it's not necessary?
because a relationship is an equal partnership. If I am the one that's assertive, if I can provide, if I earn the money, then it doesn't really matter what my boyfriend does.
Okay. Do you think most women have that mindset?
I know a lot of women that do, and I think it's just.
But do you think a majority of women have that mindset where they're okay being a breadwinner and taking care of their
I
man?
think it's unfair to disregard the women that do think that way or that are that
Oh
way.
my god.
And it's just unnecessary to put
Byron,
ourselves
kill
as,
her.
like women
Kick
in
her
a
ass.
box where they
Fuck
have to
her
be
up.
quiet and timid and I don't
Well,
know.
I didn't say
proper.
I'm forcing them to be in that box or anything. I'm just simply
No,
asking
but you
you.
are putting them in that box.
No, I'm asking you a
Misogyny.
simple question. What do you think men find more attractive, introverted or extroverted women? That's all I asked.
Generally.
It all depends.
And then you
I
went ahead
don't
and
know.
talked about yourself. I'm asking in general, and then if you want, answer the question generally. Then you can speak about yourself more specifically.
Yeah. Well, no, if I mean you and your audience, probably woman that's more timid and quiet and proper and
Deflect.
an
Women are
introverted
professional
person.
deflectors.
Okay. And then you said, what did you say after that? You said that you think that it shouldn't be that way. You said it's unfair.
I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's unfair. It's if it works for people, sure, but it isn't the case for me, and I believe that there are a lot of people.
Because you said in
for
a
whom it
traditional
isn't the
relationship,
case.
that's how it is. Do you think? Wouldn't it be fair to say though that most women want a traditional relationship?
No,
Oh,
it's not
maybe
fair to say that
sometimes.
actually,
Why not?
because I know a lot of women that don't, that are just
A handful?
like I am, that are
Beautiful.
outgoing.
Where are these
that
women
like
from?
To do stuff. From Europe. My
From
friends.
Holland, right?
Yeah, from all over the world. I've traveled a lot, but
Okay.
and most of
Ooh,
the people at
you
least
know what that
I get
means.
along with are, yeah, they
So-
do stuff
So you're
themselves.
basing it off of a sample size of people that you know that you're friends with that are from your part of the world, which Holland is an egalitarian, fairly liberal country, progressive,
I've traveled
huh? And
a lot.
you,
I've traveled a lot around
okay.
Europe. It's just, yeah.
do you
it's
think?
like
Do you
that.
think
Glad.
Tunisia observes these values?
I know my boyfriend does.
Is that what he tells you?
Yes, it is.
I think that's what he tells you to
My
get what he
nigga's-
wants, but that's
my
fine.
nigga's smart.
Yeah.
It's not a lot he
he's a
can
smart
get
guy.
from me.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay. Very interesting. But I'm asking you. Do you think a majority of women, if I lined up let's say even in the United States, let's take a first world country like the United States. Do you think a majority of women believe in this egalitarian system that you think that men and women should be under?
No, I see why not.
No.
Or do most women want a traditional relationship where they have a masculine man who's a leader? Which one?
I believe that they are almost forced to think that
Oh
way
my
or feel that
goodness.
way, that they should be more.
They are forced. It was programmed because they were little girls and they were forced to watch Barbie, My Little Pony, and so they are pushed to doing certain things, and men are pushed to take over the world. That's why it is unfair, why women are treated so unfairly, and it's terrible and it's horrible, and I'm just about ready to lie to you. Not me, but her.
Quiet and timid because it's a lot of judgment from more conservative people or that do want the traditional relationship, that feel the need to force them or put them in a box so that they would feel
Her
uncomfortable
tits aren't even that
or
big.
not happy with themselves if they're not quiet and if they're not timid, if they're not proper and conservative.
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
I think if it's anything, it's you make fun of women that want to be moms, that want to stay at home, that want to raise a family. If she's
No.
not chasing a career, if she's not going to college, if she's not like believing in feminist ideals, they make fun of her.
No, but it's not really like that. I think that whatever
No, it
works
is.
for a
We could
person
see it.
works for them. It doesn't really matter. Whether you're a person that likes dealing with kids, that really enjoys cooking, being at home.
I would argue a majority of
sure.
women want to be at home. They prefer to not enter the workforce. Most women enter the workforce because they have to, because maybe their man doesn't make enough money, inflation, etc. But if they could stay at home and maybe work from home, they'd prefer that overwhelmingly from going into a job every day or not having to work at all.
Well, it depends. I don't
Sure.
know.
But I can't agree with that because a lot of women that I know, and I know how I am.
But you
they
do
don't
understand
like
that what you know is a limited perspective of overall female thought process all over the United States and
And the
all
same
first world
goes
countries.
to you. I
No,
believe that
not
you
really.
surround yourself with people that think the way that you do.
Ooh.
I'm speaking for a majority of women when I say that most women, if given the opportunity, would prefer to stay at home with their family over going into the workforce.
I'm actually curious.
If
know
they
you
do
want,
enter
but
the
what am
work-
I?
If they do enter the workforce, they're going to do it in a limited capacity where they might work part-time, they might do a job from home, they'll work from a laptop, but they would prefer to stay at home is my point. I'm not
actually
saying women don't want to
person to
work. I'm saying they want to work in a limited capacity where the man is the breadwinner. Do you want to be the breadwinner in your relationship, realistically speaking?
I don't mind.
So you don't mind,
but do you want to do it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, real quick, I'm curious. Do you want to be a breadwinner?
No, I don't.
Do you want to be a breadwinner?
I do.
Okay. Do you want to be?
No.
Do you want to be?
God, no.
So 3-2. So it seems like the majority wins, and they don't want to be. But ultimately,
Then you don't have to say that it's the majority, because there's also the minority that really exists, and you're
Oh, well, the
disregarding that.
majority is
Yeah,
the
of course.
fucking
It
the
exists,
larger
but it's
Preface all the
important.
questions with in general.
The majority is the majority of people that want to do something, but these fucking bitches always talk about, oh yeah, well, there's always a minority of people who don't want to do it, and they matter. Shut up.
Like that's how we preface most of the questions in general. Do you think most women want a traditional relationship? And you're saying, well, that's unfair. It shouldn't be that way. But well, that's not the question. The question is, do you think most women in general want a traditional relationship? I would argue yes. Most women want a leader. Most women want a guy that's masculine. Most women want a guy that's dominant. Most girls want a guy that's competent, that can lead them, that makes more money than them, etc.
I'm going to say this. Even the women that say they don't want this guy actually do. And if they don't, then they don't realize that they do want it until later. But they will always realize that they do want it eventually.
So it's like, I mean, it's just biology. It's not really, you know, and that's kind of the problem with
Feminism,
an
horror,
egalitarian
sluts.
belief system that you kind of observe. It doesn't align with biology. Like women say that they want to be equal to a man, but when it comes to equality for real, they don't want to deal with equal consequences and equal responsibility. You guys want the benefits of equality while not necessarily dealing with the negatives of equality.
I do not see the negatives in equality.
You don't see negatives in equality?
No, that's beautiful.
I mean, if you look at jobs that create infrastructure, you look at construction, you look at STEM, you look at engineering, you look at electricians, plumbers, etc. All these physically labor-intensive jobs, women don't enter these jobs.
No, there are a lot of women in the
oh, like
engineering,
maybe
in mining
2-3%.
even, everywhere.
A very small minority. Men control 90% plus of these industries.
that's because of the age-long patriarchy that's been going on. It's just
Oh, here you
still
go.
wearing
Patriarchy.
off of them.
The patriarchy gave these bitches an opportunity to have feminism because in a third world country they cannot fucking support or defend their ideals, but yet they always slam the patriarchy that been are oppressing them. 100 years ago, a man who worked in the coal mine was not working the coal mine to come home and then oppress his woman. He was working the coal mine to take care of his fucking family. This is garbage.
You think we live in a patriarchy?
Oh,
Not
of
anymore.
course.
Okay, but we've been there for a while. I have a question for
I would
her.
argue, if anything, we live in more of a. Well, here's the thing: men are in
Gynocracy.
leadership roles, but it's to a limited degree, right? Because if you look at, because when women try to sit here and say that, oh yeah, men have all the advantages, etc., they control the wealth. Well, yeah, that's true, but men also die at a higher rate. They're more likely to die from violence. They're most of the homeless people. They're most of the poverty. Like, even though there's men on one spectrum that are excellent, that are superior, there's a lot of men that are absolutely inferior. So we're on both ends of the spectrum, whether good or bad. But I've noticed that, feminist arguments tend to always look at the guys that are doing really good in the top 1%, but they don't look at all the guys that are absolute failures at the bottom.
But that goes the same for women, though.
Not really. Women tend to be more in the middle with everything.
I think that's your perception, and I'm
That's
never
the
going to
absolute
That's
truth. The bell curve.
facts.
If you look at geniuses that are the most geniuses are men, but most low IQ people are also men.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a fact. This is not my opinion.
Women will do this where they act like they know something. They'll try to sound really, really smart, but yet they haven't done the fucking research. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They will just talk and talk and talk and say like fucking points and like one or two liners saying, oh yeah, this, feminism, bang, womanism, no, women oppressed. But they really don't fucking know deep down what the fuck is really going on. It's all fucking words. Women, okay, so women don't use words to explain or express reality. Women use words to create reality from scratch, their own reality.
Huh.
So men tend to operate on the extremes of the spectrum. So for every guy that's absolutely excellent, there's a bunch of guys that are losers.
All right, this black girl's feeling herself. She's looking at herself with her fucking do-rag and her fucking wig, fucking blinking. She's like, it's like, come on, those look like banana tits.
Yeah, but there is every level of testosterone produced in a human body, so every person is really an individual. So I don't feel the need
Lies.
to generalize that. And if you're asking me a
She know
question
what the fuck she's
that's
talking about.
based on
Myron
male or
Killer.
female role, then I feel like you're asking me a question, and I should, give you an answer.
I feel
about-
like we're both man and
I
woman.
framed the question in a general sense.
I'm sorry.
And then you went and immediately made it about yourself, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. If you want
Narcissism.
to make it more individual, but you should give the general answer. Then you can go ahead and say, well, that doesn't apply to me because X, Y, Z. But that does not negate the fact that what I said is an objective fact in general. Just because you might not align with it doesn't mean that it's still not true. And you might represent a minority, which a lot of the times that minority could be statistically insignificant. I would argue most women absolutely don't want to be a breadwinner. Most women absolutely don't want to be the predominant breadwinner. Most women don't want to go to work every single day and work a hard manual labor job, and we have the evidence to prove it. If you look at a majority of the laborious jobs, who runs it? Men. Women don't want to do these jobs, and that's fine.
Well, I think
But
it's
we're
going
different.
to
And I
change.
think the problem
I
that a
think-
lot of
I think in the next couple of years it's going to change because women were oppressed and they were abused and beaten, and now women are coming up and they're doing the hard jobs the same as a man.
women that believe in egalitarianism like you guys is you guys don't understand, you guys don't accept
Sluts.
biological realities. You guys think I can do everything that a man can do, and the reality is you can't. You simply can't.
And they should prove it by Myron fist fighting one of these hoes and seeing who wins. I got my money on Myron.
What is there that I can't do?
Well, in general, women are physically inferior to men.
All right, so here's what's going to happen. So this woman, she's progressively been working up to this condescending tone that everything Myron says, she responds to it kind of like, it's not important, it's not true, that he's pulling the fucking wool over our eyes. And this is what women do. This is a fucking gaslight session this female is putting on. She's like, oh, well, I don't know. Watch this shit. Learn, motherfuckers. Write this shit down.
That's a fact. That's not my opinion. You can't run as fast as a man. You can't throw as fast, as hard as a man. You don't have the physical capacity to, excuse me?
I don't have to do that in my everyday life.
Well, if you're going to work a physically, manually labor job, you're going to need some ability to have physical strength, correct?
If you're working with men, you're going to have to keep up with the men. You're going to have to be on the same level as
Oh,
them.
here goes ugly.
Yes, but even the first question
She
was
looks like
based
a
on
white
leadership,
pumpkin.
and I feel like there are a lot of women that are creatives that are really emotional
Yeah.
and that can.
They're not saying that you can't do it. You possibly can, but in the long term, how long can you do it for? How long can you do it for before you like hit a wall?
And this is also another argument that a lot of liberals make, right? Just because someone is capable doesn't mean that it's optimal. It's two different things. So if I have 20,000 soldiers, one all female, one all male, who am I better off sending to fight?
The girls, of
Fight?
course.
Yes.
Probably a man.
Okay. So the women are capable of going to war too, right? But it's optimal to send the men to have the
But
best
of
chance.
course.
Same exact situation that she's saying. Like, I can have female workers in a certain field or whatever. Yeah, for sure they can do it. I'm not saying women can't do it. But what I am saying is that in general, men are going to be better because we just have. This isn't my opinion. This is an absolute biological fact. We have higher, stronger, more lung capacity, more muscle density, thicker bones.
If this is a fact, she's just going to have to disagree with you, Myron, because you know what? Facts are not reality, and her truth is the truth.
Our faces are designed to withstand more impact. Like, it's just in every physical regard, men are physically superior to women. And
Alright, I'm going to say this. I believe that gender is a social construct, and men actually aren't tougher. It's just that when we're kids, boys are raised to be tough and to get hit and to own businesses and to be CEOs, while women they're raised to be sleeping beauty, waiting for the prince to come and wake them up. It's not their fault. It's a man's fault.
if they weren't, why would we have a WNBA? Why would we have female soccer? Why would we have female standards? Why is it that when guys decide...
Okay, I'm going to guess this one. She's going to change the goalpost. She's going to move it. She's going to move the goalpost by saying, well, they don't get paid as much. I don't know.
switch their genders, they go into female side, they absolutely destroy them despite the fact that they're on drugs. Think about that. I mean, does that not prove what I'm trying to say? Even though the crazy left is trying to say, oh yeah, go ahead and let them compete in female sports. They're destroying them because we are not the same.
I don't know.
No, I understand your point, and I know that people have different physical capabilities, but your question was also directed towards leadership and assertiveness, and I feel like that.
But all of that plays.
Okay, women are terrible leaders. Women are terrible at asserting any type of dominance or leverage or whatever. Well, maybe leverage in a relationship with these simps, but it's kind of the same concept.
And see what I mean? Like, I went another step further, but like, leadership stems from biological superiority from a physical standpoint.
How? How is that true? No, I can be physically very capable, but I can be just
Fuck her up
unable
there,
to
Myron.
talk to people, unable to lead them towards success, unable to motivate them.
No, she can't.
It isn't zero correlation.
I agree. But here's the thing. A part of leadership is communication skills. It is competence.
Which is
It
also
is the ability to be extroverted to a degree. It is being physically capable and dangerous. All of these things play into leadership.
The dangerous part isn't really necessary.
Really.
Yeah.
That's easy for you to say when you live in a safe first world country, but you absolutely need to be capable of danger. How are you going to think about it? The civilized world that we live in now, you do realize that it's civilized because there's dangerous people willing to enact violence to protect your safety.
I know.
If you get attacked, police officers showing up with weapons, correct? You're going to call 911 for more than likely men to show up with firearms to protect you from another individual who's perpetrating violence on you, correct?
Yes, but that's
If
not
the country's
necessarily the
invaded,
leader.
if the country's invaded by foreign invaders who have weapons, we have a military that is going to enact violence to protect your ability to be safe, correct?
That's
But not
not
the president.
necessarily leadership.
You know, the president, the
Yeah.
one that's actually
Moving the fucking goalpost. I'm telling you, she's fucking gaslighting the whole fucking shebang. Everybody.
leading.
He's the
So-
commander in chief.
Yes.
So
So
he-
that can be also a woman. So I don't.
Psh, psh.
women can lead such as well
In
as
the
men
past,
can.
actually, the president would be on the field as the commander in chief, but
George Washington was running around with them.
yes, and Theodore Roosevelt, he as well would be. He was very known
Ooh,
for
I
being
kind of
a
like this
man
girl.
of
I
war.
don't care that she didn't
But
wear
the reason that
makeup.
they're not anymore is because now they're in a place.
She didn't wear makeup, but guess what? I'd still fuck her for that statement. And only for that statement.
Risk. They need to be able to lead the country so they can't just die because there's not somebody that could easily take their place. So that's why there's things in place now to make sure that they're protected. That's why there's a Secret Service. They can't die. They're at a high
Damn, this
risk.
girl
People
did her
want to kill them
research.
because that way they can take over a country. So they
She's making me horny.
got a lot of responsibility.
Yes, but the leader of a country can still such as well be a female. It doesn't really matter. So
No,
the
I
leader in a
understand that.
relationship can also be both genders. It doesn't
Again,
matter.
goes back to my argument that I made before.
Yeah, it could be both genders, a man and a woman, all combined in one stupid, retarded fucking person. That shit don't work. Come on. Let's be honest here. Quit lying to me, and I won't lie to you.
Because someone is capable doesn't mean it's optimal in general. So maybe 1 out of 10 women can be a capable leader. Cool. But if I line up 10 guys, a higher majority of them can potentially be a leader and more capable of doing so.
I mean, if you had kids at daycare, would you prefer a man or woman?
It don't
Be honest.
matter.
If they're in daycare, they're probably taking care of professionals. I wouldn't.
No, but would you prefer a man or woman
She's
to
fucking
take care of your kids?
lying now.
A woman, maybe.
Why?
Okay, this is why I always say women are willing to lie to prove a point. They will fucking lie. They will over-exaggerate. They will bend the fucking truth, which is a fucking lie. But they will do it just to win a fucking argument. So yeah, sure, we're on YouTube. We're watching Fresh and Fit. You're watching The Radical Masculine, but guess what? Women act like this in real life to where they will fucking lie to prove a point. Watch out, motherfuckers. This is a great opportunity for you to fucking take notes and to understand that women will fucking lie.
I don't know.
No,
Probably.
Because maybe
no,
I'm also
no.
just
no, you know why.
Probably
Because they're more capable, because they are more nurturing.
maybe, yeah.
maybe.
So we have
Maybe.
biological strengths, men and women.
Everything is subjective. Maybe it all depends. This is the fucking modern woman's fucking go-to plan. Okay, let's frustrate. Okay, I'll say this. Modern women, they'll like spill their fucking terrible fucking ideals, and then they'll always come back and say, oh, it all depends, it's all subjective, maybe yes, maybe no. It's gaslighting, because women like this look to win arguments or debates by frustrating the fuck out of a man. Because men, we're more logical. We understand, we know she's lying, we know she's full of shit. And women live in this fucking fanciful, fucking delusional fucking realm of bullshit. So I believe this is the female's tactic: to frustrate, attempt to confuse, or to derail. This is all females. I'll tell you that right now. Boy.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm also just.
Whatever.
I also have.
I'm not saying a female can't be president. What I'm saying is that most women are
I'm
not fit to
saying
be
she
president.
can't.
Do you understand the difference?
I don't believe that most women are not fit to be president.
We would have had one by now then.
There are a bunch in Europe, actually.
And how are those countries doing?
Terrible.
One of them is
Good.
Estonia.
Yeah,
We just had
they're
a
doing
female
amazing.
president. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the economy over there?
Good.
It's
yeah,
great.
quite good.
Yeah.
Okay, besides
Not
the
true.
country, how
They're-
is her personal life? Is she happy?
I
Is she
mean, I
happy?
guess so.
Like, how
She's doing
stressed
a
is
lot.
she?
Wasn't one of these women on camera
Yeah, dancing
in
in
a
the club.
dancing?
All right, so this is why whenever a woman says something stupid like, "Oh, in Estonia, the president's doing great," this is why you have to put your fucking foot on the throat of the conversation and shut them up, because these fucking females will take this ideology and all this bullshit and fucking run with it. We have to stop it, nip it right at the butt, and just be done with it, because these dumb bitches move around the fucking world talking about, oh yeah, in Estonia it's doing great, quite great. No, It's doing terrible. We could all Google this shit. But other women will hear it and say, see, I told you. Women are so impressionable. It's ridiculous.
Club.
Yeah.
One of these presidents.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Presidents
It
and
was a,
quotations.
I don't know, that's
prime minister of, I
embarrassing.
think, Finland or one of these places. I mean, Western Europe had economic issues for a very long time. A lot of times for being super liberal. I don't think these countries are as strong as you guys say from an economic standpoint.
Definitely
Estonia's
not.
in the East, Eastern Europe. We're doing really good.
Then why are y'all here?
Why you here?
Why you here?
No, we're just kidding. we know why you're here.
So that is going to sum up this video. I want everybody to like, comment, and subscribe. Show your boys some love because we are on the road to... Shit, at this point, we're on the road to at least 100. But I have bigger dreams and bigger plans than that, so you can be part of our success. Now that we've lost Fresh and Fit from YouTube, they'll still be around, but now it's time for all of us to step up and support one another. So you support me, I'll support you. And with all that said, thank you for viewing The Radical Masculine.